our player object is going to run this physics process controller. It's going to run on the server side. We're going to get some client input stuff, client authority stuff, which is this. I want to test this again to have a baseline of where we left off with this. So I can my head around it again. So let's just move them over here. So in case I need to look at the code, they're out of the way. So I can look around stationary. I can move and look around on the host. So the logic is fine, but we're having an authority problem. Okay, so on the client itself, there's some jittery here. I think because it's also running a client, and I think, okay. So let's just try the last one. So of course it's going to synchronize on the top one because that's our host. So we need to check on the middle one. So this is working. So the bottom two are clients. They don't have any authority. So if it's working there, then we know that it's okay. And there is some jitteriness in the motion on the client that's controlling it, but it is rotating correctly. Like I'm able to move, able to jump. I don't see any artifacting anymore. And let's double check the artifacting. What I mean by artifacting is there was a side effect of the motions that was applying the movement, the rotation movement to the other players on the screen, and that's not a good thing. So the way to check is look at the camera, and I'm not going to be able to because current. So it's not player one, but that's fine. We can still monitor them, I think. Yeah, orientation. Okay, so orientation seems to be locked to me. Locked to that player, I mean. They're no longer being affected by it. At least I don't see it. I mean, right there it was. Is it because my mouse is... So let's just lock him over here. Wait, he's moving more than one client. Yeah, this is like if you need to control a mob of people, you can do it this way. But yeah, this is definitely, I definitely have an authority problem with this. So let's go back to our code. All right, so what is happening here? So I think what's happening is this player process controller is running on all the clients, and it probably shouldn't. Okay, so I'm gonna have to think about this a little bit. There's no reason for the other clients to run this code. This code should be ran on the server, and it should be synchronized to the other players. So let's try that really quick. Right. Let me think it through. So jump is getting client authority stuff and processing on the server, and then we apply all the client authority things on the server. So I feel that this should be that. This should be that authority. Let's just move it way over here so we can see code and stats if needed. So let's move this guy over here. Okay, so he's moving fine, and you can see that his inputs are being processed as you would expect on the server. Let me try to get to the other client, just see if I can debug this a little bit further. So the motion is definitely there, and the run thing's working. I didn't really test that, but our rotation isn't. So rotation should be, so we're using orientation, but I think what we need to do, if we were just going to synchronize orientation, then that would mean that we would need to process orientation, all the clients, and I'm not. So I think instead we need to synchronize the mesh 3D. So I think I can do this and do that, and then probably transform. But for now, let's just do rotation. And I want to remove orientation. And let's see if this has an effect. So that looks to be a little bit better. Still pretty, I think it's lagging because I don't think I'm lerping this rotation. Yeah, I don't think I'm not sure. And then also because it's waiting to go to all the way back to the server and then back again. It looks like it's synchronizing, and it doesn't look like it's affecting the other players. There was an artifact where they were affecting the other players a little bit ago. So I want to double check that. So let's go find a client that we can test with. Yeah, you can see here that all players are multiplayer authority 0. So the server side server authoritative. And let's see which player we're on right now. So we're not on them, but I don't like using the server as a test because they have authoritative control. Okay, so right now I'm on this guy, but let me check to see if he's rotating or not. Let's go look at his rotation. Oh, actually, let's look at the mesh. Yeah, he's not. But if I go to the other guy, now he's turning. Yeah, so he wasn't being affected before. So let's go back to the bottom guy. And that you'll notice that Y, that underneath this node 3D in the middle of the screen to the left there, it's not changing. That's correct. Before it was somehow influencing it. All right, so we've got a full end-to-end camera rotating 3D character working. These weird scene errors come up every now and then. There's some jitters in the actual movement, so I'd like to smooth that out. So it's just the player ref. We are lerping to go. So this just redoes the basis. So it's just replicating the rotation of that, and we're not lerping that at all. So I wonder if that's why it's showing up like that. Or it could just be that's how often we're getting those endpoints. Yeah, I think this might be the best that we can do before we end up introducing other problems. Yeah. Or other complexities. So let's just look at this for a second. Yeah, so this is just determining the rotation, and this is determining the movement. What happens if I move that? Because we just got done calculating it. We not apply it immediately? I actually think I'm using this relative cam. I think I moved away from it, and I forgot I moved away from it. Yeah, I was using that for something. I think that was something about the direction of. Yeah, so let's just get rid of this because code cleanup didn't really need that. And just remove it out of here. Camera mount rotation and camera rotation should be good enough. If rotation is synchronized, it's causing that jitter. I think we need to pull out. I mean, I do want to make this client prediction, so I don't know if I really want to go through the effort of trying to smooth this jaggedness out if I'm going to get rid of it anyways. So that's like the kind of things you got to think about, right? It's like, do I want to put effort into smoothing this out? So what would that look like? Maybe we should go back to, I almost want to do it as an exercise. So let's just not synchronize this for a minute. Let's not synchronize the player rotation and make sure that he doesn't sync his rotation. Just make sure. Okay, good. Yeah, so that's what I expect. It's not going to work on your actual client, but it'll work on the server, which is what we expected. Okay. if that's the case, orientation is not synchronized, but let's synchronize it. Player dot orientation, okay. But then we need to apply it. So if it's not authority, because we're not syncing rotation, let's say transform. Can we do that? Am I able? Can I say this? I don't know how to go from, how do I go from a transform to rotation? Or can I just do transform to transform? Because that would, I think that would give us what we're looking for. Sort of. That still has the jaggedness. So that doesn't fix anything. And on the clients, they're showing into the ground. Because I'm transforming the model and not just the rotation, because this has been zeroed out, or the y coordinate has been zeroed out. So that's why he's sunk down in there. What if I'm doing this for testing purposes. So this is like test or orientation equals orientation. And then what if we just set that y equal 1? And then apply that. I just want to see if this is what I think is happening. If what I think is happening is actually happening, come on, host it. Oh, you can't do that. Is it basis? Isn't that a vector? That's a full vector. Oh man, I think I can do this. No. So it's the other guy. Session 1's not running. Okay. So I just want to see who is where. So zero out the orientation and the calculations for the inputs on the server side. Well, let's try the rotation way. Let's try looking at the rotation, which we're gonna get rid of that. And then we're not synchronizing rotation of the block itself, and maybe we can just lerp it. I'm not sure. Let's see if that'll work. Because we're not synchronizing the rotation. So it's not automatically going to do it. This is what I was saying earlier, that if we don't do it automatically, we're going to have to apply it ourselves. Where is the rotation set? That might smooth it out. I'm not sure if that's going to work. I'm going to just try it really quick and see where I can get with it. Let's do from, and should be the same calculation. Wait. Where'd it go? Here we go. Yeah, so we need to get where they're at, and then where they are, which is this. So it's going to be, I wonder if I need to capture the previous orientation. So that would be this to that, right? The beer model, which is just this to that, right? And can we just apply the same thing? Can't we just do that? I don't know what this should be the same 10. And let me just do that. So we get where we're at, and then we get where we want to go because that's synced. And then we can just apply it right to the transform, just like we're doing here on the server. Oh, wait, it's global transform basis. I don't know. Let's try it. Well, it didn't break on the host. And it didn't break on the one client. It actually is a lot smoother. I think doing that little lerp helped on the client side instead of doing it directly. Yeah, all right. Okay, I guess that worked. There's a little bit of lag on the client because of it. Like it seems like he whips around a little slower, but this kind of smooths out players' rotation. So yeah, I think, I wonder if this needs to be bumped up a little bit to account for the lag. I don't know. I don't really notice a huge difference. Anyways, it doesn't really matter because I'm probably going to move away from all this anyways, but at least it's a lot smoother. So you can hold forward and turn your mouse and it whips around. It doesn't whip around super fast, but that's probably because a little bit of the input lag, because this is server authoritative, that calculation right here on the screen, this object, right? This object is synchronized. Come on. Right here. I'm not synchronizing the mesh rotation, just synchronizing the orientation property. And that doesn't have any direct impact on anything, right? It's not a position or rotation. It's just a property right here. And we update that on the server in here to whatever the model should be turned to. This model, this is our model, this mesh, this is our placeholder model until we get a real one in there. And so that property gets updated, and on the client, so anything that's not authority, right? Oh, it's still having that artifact effect though. Damn. I think that's happening. Is it happening because I was just at all three? That bug is gonna mess me up if it's not a real thing. They're not moving now. It's almost like I had all of them selected, none of them selected, and it was artifacting the rotation. I don't see it happening right now. Okay, so I'm gonna move past that and just hope that that's not really a bug. Anyway, so that orientation gets synchronized, and there's a delay between when you move locally, server processes it, and it gets sent back, and it gets synced. But because of that, I want to lerp, which is what I'm doing here, this little lerp guy right there. And it just smooths out that movement. So I think that's good enough. I think that should be good enough. Where did I find that? Slurp. There is a weight. There is a weight. I didn't apply a weight. So what's the default weight then? Is there not a default weight? I don't know what the default weight is. So maybe let's try to apply a weight to it, like 0.8. And maybe that'll do something. I don't know, we just got to experiment. I just thought that it doesn't, what? Invalid call. What happened? I put it in the wrong. Oh, this is the weight. Okay. All right, my bad. Okay. I totally glossed over that. All right, so that is the weight, then I think we're good. But I wonder, can we just copy this? Can I do that? Oh, what was it? Was it player controller? Yeah, player controller. Can I just do that? That way it's the same. It does feel a little slow to me. I don't like it. Let me try to up it to like 50. Right, and let's get more of the way there. Oh yeah, that's much more snappy. Can we up it again? Let's do 150. Oh my God, that's so cool. What effect is that? We broke it. I wonder if that's artifacting because it's running. I don't know. Is that an acceptable spin? It's not. I think I'm overdoing it because I keep forgetting that I'm probably going to do client side reconciliation. So I think I'm going to leave this for now, and I'm going to commit this as a stopping point. And I got some bugs in here. Oh yeah, I could probably clean it up even more. This. So you're supposed to run that to clean up stuff. So I think I would run it on this, right? Yeah, I'm not sure that's going to have an effect. Over time, I think you're supposed to run this to correct for issues over time or drift. All right, so this is kind of what I'm getting at. Precision errors, operations on transform will result in the loss of precision due to floating point errors. Okay, so it will no longer be one. It won't be normal. Each axis won't be normalized, and then you'll get like your basis. This basis, which represents the 3-axis, will no longer be locked. Wherever it's transformed to, it won't be locked at a 90-degree from each other or orthogonal. So you can run your transform and set it to itself ortho normalized. This looks like what it's saying, maybe once per frame if you modify it every frame. But it says the scale afterwards. So scale, make sure you do your scales. It's a good little point there. So all they're telling me is maybe this we put into a model transform equals that, and then I'll just do this equals model transform ortho normalized, and then we'll just apply that here instead, just to be careful, because we're doing it in the other on the server for the calculation itself. The source of the calculation. All right, it's working. It's working fine. And we can jump. All right, so we got our little dummy characters. Make sure it's full end to end. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, this was a placeholder thing we can remove. Patient on clients. And we even use gravity. Yeah, I use gravity in here. All right. All right, so we got our controller, our player controller, which is a server-side calculation, and all this is going to be changed once I bring in the client-side prediction and reconciliation. All right, so we've got a full server authority. I've been wanting to wrap up a template, and we're getting there. I don't want to leave it here because I don't think this is realistic. I think you can definitely make a game, but if you want your game to not have lag, we need like client-side prediction, and I think I'm going to use NetFox for this. I mean, you could take this as a starting point. This is a really basic multiplayer controller, and I'm going to add in models, and I want to use state machine transitions. I think I'm going to do that in another session. I think what I'm going to do is add the models, and I'm just trying to, I think it'll be more interesting having actual little guys running around. And then we'll look at getting their animations correctly. Like we're going to have different, I think we're going to do state machine for the animations. I mean, I guess we could do state machine for everything, right? For walking. Like right now, I'm not applying a state system here. It just takes their velocity. Like it's just a very raw implementation, I guess is the word. There's no, are we at idle speed? Are we at run speed or walk speed? Are we at jump? So I think it would be fun to convert this to state machine based on that. I guess if your game was really simple and you just had one state for movement and one state for idle, because I have like a run state and a walk state, an idle state, and a jump state. And you can have other states too. And I think it would be based around this. So I believe all this wouldn't be part of the state because that's just rotation stuff. So down here, we would have to figure out or have a conditional that's like, okay, if you're going this fast, you are now a run. And do we just tie the animations or do we want to tie in actual velocities and stuff? I kind of don't want to do that. I kind of don't want to actually tie in the movement code. I think we can just have a separate thing that doesn't care about any of this. It just looks at the velocity and or are you on the ground or not? And then from those two things, we can basically determine 4 states, which is idle, walk, run, and jump. And then, yeah, I think we can build our state machine that way and give us those animations. I think I'm going to do that next and also add in the model instead of this this mesh guy here. Yeah, so that's just going to be the model from animation, some assets that I have. And then it will be looking at the animation player and then the node, the root, the model itself. I wonder if that would be difficult to set up right now. If you're not familiar, there's a asset maker named Kenny. It's pretty popular. I just participated in a game jam and it was a lot of fun. And he's got a lot of good. He has some quality assets, and I'd recommend them. They kind of look like this, kind of blocky. It's like one example. I think I used for the game demo. I think I used a space guy. Here, let me just pull it in. So I think I used one of these space dudes. So I think what we'll do is, because I think this would be a fun activity to kind of end with, to get a model on this. Let's open up our source control really quick. And we're going to capture our changes. So I'm going to add them to index. So we moved out our inputs, made that was in the last stream. It made that client authority. We created a separate file, which is server authority, but it handles the controls of the player, like the movement, motion, rotation, that sort of thing, based on client side inputs, which are camera and player input. And so we added that and we just adjusted the basic player, the default character 3D body. We just refactored that to handle those 3 changes. Okay, so we know we have those changes committed. So whatever I break here, we'll have it taken care of. So let's see, if I want to add some assets, let's create another folder. I'll just create it at the top level called characters for now, because I'm not sure what my structure is going to look like. And I'm going to add a subfolder called animations. And we're going to put a bunch of animations in there in a minute. I'm not going to do it right now. So I need to find a skin that represents a different person. All right, so we have a whole bunch of people. We have survivor, skin, we have robot guy, which it would be really cool to see a preview. So we can do a zombie guy. We can do a normal guy. Maybe let's do a survival guy. How about that guy? Or this army looking dude. That looks pretty cool. I guess he has 3 different models. Like it's one, I think we're using this one. And then he has a bunch of attachments, which is pretty cool. This is just for 1 pack, so whatever. All right. So this army dude looks pretty cool. I wish he had a label underneath them so I could quickly identify it, because I don't know. And these are SVGs. What do I need? I need a PNG. So military dude. Yeah, it's probably military dude. All right, so we're going to grab the military dude character and let's say skins. Such a weird word. And I'm going to just drag skins over for now. And, you know, we can probably just drag over the animations because whatever. Get it out of the way. Let's copy them over. These are all the resources. So this isn't like your animation player is going to come with these animations. We're going to actually make these. And I don't know if this is going to work the way that I just did it, because I had to manually import all of these and convert them to resources. So what we need to do now is create a animation library, I believe. Is that what I want? Yeah, animation lib. Please be what I want. Yes. Okay. So this will be, I don't know. I guess this is a male character, so male animations. And we'll just stick it in there. Let me create a new scene. I don't want to create it there under assets. Let's create it down under the player. We'll call this military male. That's our scene enough. And if I want to do an animation player for now, animation tree is what I would prefer eventually. But if we do this, I'm trying to remember how I created the animations before. I think I remembered. So I think it's an animation library, right? We'll call it animation lib. We'll just save it there. Let's select our player. See if we can drag this over. It's not letting me do it. Was it down here? Load library. Okay. Save, whatever. And then what we do, I think what I do is I have to go 1 by 1. That's a lot of work. Let's just try walk. It's really frustrating. I can't remember. Oh, do I just do this? That's what it was. All right. There it is. There we go. Oh man, I thought it was going crazy. There's the open button right next to it. So I guess I have to open all these because I don't think I can. Do them all at once. Death. Got idle already. Interact ground. So this is just his like standard suite of animations. And it's fairly comprehensive. I mean, it's missing some stuff, but how would he know, right? I mean, it's amazing that you get this for free and you can always edit them and add to them. And I think we're good. And now we just need a player. So the model is going to be the standard GLB file. So this is something I created, and I'm not certain if I want to use that or if I want to use the models that he provided. Let's just try it. So here's our FBX. And I think we can attach a skin to it by grabbing the assets we just added. Characters, skins, no? Do I have to create a material for it? Probably. So let's probably try to do that first. Create a resource, material. I guess it's a standard material. And we're going to say military mail. I'm going to make this proper skin material. And we're going to save it there. And I think all I have to do is drag over the texture. And I don't know if this is going to work. I don't know if this is going to work. Let me see. I don't think this is going to work. All right, let's drag up our military dude. Would you believe that it worked? Do you believe that? All right. All right, I'm not as bad as I think. All right, so we got a dude. Does he run? He doesn't run. All right, dude, why don't you run? Let's make you local. And let's drag out this root node and get rid of the scene thing. And okay. Oh, what happened? Why is it working now? It's working perfectly. So yeah, that was a bit of work, but it works. And I want to crouch idle. Let's repeat. Crouch walk, repeat. Idle, repeat. And run, repeat's already done. And walk. Let's do that. See what walk looks like. All right. So we got a guy with an animation player. I'm going to move it to the top just because it doesn't have anything involved with it. And we got some animations, so we set that up. That's fun. Now we need to make that the model in our little player thing. So that's, I guess, just dragging over the military dude. Where'd it go? Where's the scene? Right there. And let's just drag him up there. And now we got a military guy. And instead of, if we go to the player, it's not going to be the mesh. Or was I using the mesh? There. Instead of the mesh 3D instance, we're going to use the military mail as the thing that rotates. And let's just remove that thing. And the capsule collider is short. It's a little short. So we need to fix that. He's a little tall. This is 2.8. 2.8. And we'll come right down to right at the edge there. And that's, he's a little wide. 0.35. All right. Now he's decent sized. So what happens when we run the game? We're going to get a guy. And of course he's facing the wrong way. And he doesn't do anything yet. But at least we got him. He does turn on the server. But he's not turning locally. Let's see. Why is that not turning? That should have nothing to do with this. So that's this thing because I programmed that poorly. So that should be the player model. So let's export another variable. Let's call it player model. And that is a node 3 there. And let's go to the model. Okay, so drag the, hate how you can't do that. Military mail model. Player model is not that or this. Let's see if that works. Okay, so he is turning. He is turning. Let's get the other guy, and he is also turning. he's not going to be animated yet. I didn't do anything, so that's cool. His turn's a little slow. Whatever. All right, so he's facing the wrong. I don't know if wrong is the right word for that, but he's not facing where I want him to face. So where is he looking? He's looking down Z. Looks like he's looking down Z. Whoa. Why is the box so big? It's weird. I pretend like I didn't see that. Why is this root node just freaking huge? What the hell? What's your problem, man? All right. Why are you facing the wrong direction? So do we just take this thing and is around the Y? So is it negative 90? No, negative 180? Or is it 180? Let's see if this fixes it. Not even a little. So it looks like I got to do 180 on the root node. Which is that. Fine. I don't really like that, but it lines up with the camera. Yeah, I guess. All right, so we got 3 people, no animations, but we got a model in, and that's what I wanted. So we got our military dude set up, and I want to do a state machine so he can animate correctly. I want to do a state machine attached to him. That would be a lot of fun to do. And if you guys want to check out this template, I will make it available when I'm done with it. I just want to do a state machine for the animations. But it looks like we've got some progress. I'm going to pick back up here and let's do some animations next. Then get a state machine animator going with just a player animation. And then once we get that, then the next time we're going to look at how can we get netbox. So everybody can have a starting template. You guys don't have to worry about lag compensation. You can literally just download this template and with certain game types in mind. I mean, I don't know what type of game you're developing, and maybe this is not going to work for it. Maybe it will. So next time we're going to do a state machine of the animations for this guy. And then we're going to look at getting netbox in so that we don't have to worry about our client side prediction and reconciliation stuff, or we can have some lag compensation out of the box. I'm hopeful that we can get that working with this 3D. We've got it working with the 2D games with that Brackeys demo stuff that I've been doing. So if you're curious, go check out those projects. There's demos readily available to download, or templates, I should say. But that was 2D game, 2D kind of platformer. But anyways, so we're going to do that next time and try to get that working with this. So anyways, thanks. And yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions. Thanks for watching.